Live from Missoula, it's Wake Up Missoula. Sorry, I just had to do that. So that was our webcam. So as you can see.
Yeah, show it again. That's
amazing webcam.
Corner of Spruce and Higgins right now. There's Wardens.
With slow webcam action.
People are driving around.
Really choppy and slowly. It's very
Looks good.
Their shutter speed is awful.
Looks good. Oh, that guy's riding his bike. Good for him.
Yeah, we have a great show for you guys today. We have 3 guests on today. We have a guy from Be Bear Away, the Sustainable Business Council, and
Chuck
the POV.
Yes.
Yeah, we have some cool. Perfect.
Yes.
But wait. I think there's something stalking us.
Oh my God.
What is?
Anyways, we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
Just one more time.
At least we're aware. We're aware of that it's a bear. So
yeah.
Everyone, be bear aware.
Be bear aware.
And we're going to be talking about being bear aware, which is very important as we live in Montana and we're surrounded by mountains.
The bears are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll hear more about that
grizzly
later.
bears within Missoula area now.
So here, and we need to be aware about them.
Be bear aware.
Indeed.
Yep. And here's our Facebook page. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Our website is mcat.org. And one of the things I want to talk about is our summer camps. Summer camps are happening again this year. We have our free camp, so if you have any kids or know any of you kids who would be interested in participating, our free camp is our 3-day camp that happens June 25th to the 27th for kids who want to go and parents who want to be cheap. The other ones cost about $100 a pop, and they're from June 16th to the 20th, July 7th to the 11th, and July 28th to the August 1st. Awesome. And those are your summer camps.
Great.
Very good.
You learn a lot of great stuff and a lot of great things.
Those are going to be a lot of fun, too.
All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, of course, I've said the first thing probably a couple of times already, so probably the third, fourth, or fifth thing I want to talk about is MEGS. MEGS is a media assistant grants that MCAT provides for any organization that's willing to hire us out, in a sense, so that we can show our lectures, what's going on with their nonprofit. When we make good deals with nonprofits, we work very well with nonprofits and organizations that are going on, including city and educational outfits. The first thing I would like to show is this lecture. Of course, this is just a still picture. This is Islam in the West, Women, Democracy, and the Human Rights in the Islamic World, and that's going to be at 5 p.m. on MCAT. And followed with that is the Cultural Council Awards, and here's a little clip from that.
Attends and supports a dizzying array of arts and cultural events. His vision of making Missoula culture available to as many of us as possible has helped to sustain many of us who work in the arts community. Yes, indeed. Joel Baird.
And this will be following at 6 p.m. And here's a little quote from what Joel had to say for accepting his award.
Thank you very much, you guys. I would like to thank people, too. I've arrayed at my table people to whom I'm very grateful. There's 3 MCAT board members there, Mike Fellows, Ed Morrissey, Jane Kelly, and also people that I've worked with, Rick Phillips, who does a lot of the arts programming.
And I think that that's a lot of what happens in this Radio Lab interview is that it's just one physician that has a really unique view.
And this is the community conversation through Hospice of Missoula. And this is going to be on at, I think, 10 p.m. on Thursday night. It'll pop up fairly soon.
And to sort of have the opportunity to ask different
And then, of course, the next...
so this isn't a judgment in any way.
So that's going to be Thursday night at 10 p.m., which is tomorrow night. The next one
I really care about is going to get struck down or not be applied or an exemption will be required. Well, no, wait a minute. That's not what I bargained for. And pretty soon, because people on both sides lose, right? Pretty soon, that wonderful consensus erodes.
So that's some of the stuff. That's the presidential lecture series. I'm not sure when that's going to be on, but just be sure to look for it. It's usually on Tuesdays when it premieres for the new episodes. And right after that is the memorial services for the police, and I want to show a little bit of that.
We thank and recognize him for his outstanding performance.
And that's going to be, that was at Rose Park, and our very own Ron Scholl filmed that. So a lot of great programming that MCAT provides through the community.
Yes, absolutely.
Always.
Yep. And before we get started, I just want to remember Ah!
Be bear
Anyways.
aware.
Be beware, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had to do that. But anyways,
Yeah. Up next,
Noel has to talk
We
about
got some events, everyone.
but still, it's coming right for me.
Okay.
Only because I provoked it.
So, events for today and tomorrow. Today, starting at, let's see, this is at 4 p.m., the Children's Art Museum presents the Art Series, which this is a little like presentation they do in a little class for children. It'll teach basic art skills and art history in a fun, interactive way. You can learn about color, line, artists, and styles of art. Also call 541-7529 for more information, and that's at 4 p.m. today. And then also at the Children's Museum, which is earlier in the day today from 11:30 to 12:30, is face painting. You can come into the art room and get your face painted. So call 541-7529 for more information. And then tonight, the 2014 MAM Awards. This is from 5 to 7. It's free. And this year's MAM Award will go to Dean Emerita Sharon Alexander, who has helped build and sustain MAM since 1990. Refreshments and music are available, and you can call 728-0447 extension 2212 to RSVP. Today also at 5 p.m. is an on-farm field day, where this is at the Stall Sheep Ranch. It'll be a workshop on diversifying products and services for your farm, or like, your little home farm in the city. And you'll also get a tour of the Stall Farm.
Ooh.
So that'll be pretty neat. That's today at 5. It calls 761-6862 for more information and RSVP to that. Also, there is a discussion panel tonight, and it's about what is local, and it's a discussion about local food in Missoula and how.
Our guest is on to talk about that.
Oh,
so.
really? Perfect. You guys will hear more about that. It's just about how your buying choices, local buying choices, can have influence. So we'll hear more about that later. I'm not going to go into it. I'll let her do it. So then, for Thursday, those are all events for Wednesday. Now we've got stuff for Thursday. For Thursday, at the Spectrum Discovery area, they have reflexes and astronomy classes. This will be at 11 a.m. It's $3.50 a person, and this is usually geared towards children. The Discover activity will be astronomy, and then the Brain Lab activity will be reflexes. You can call 728-7836 for more information. Also, there's a Global Education Luncheon at 12 p.m., which I'm going to read you guys the event page for. So, internationally educated, locally minded, educating Missoula's youth in a changing global economy. As we think about Missoula's future in a rapidly changing economy, we are seeing more schools in Missoula turn to the 1B or International Baccalaureate program.
Baccalaureate. Sorry, I have experience with that in the past, but anyways, go on.
Yeah. So, Julie Lennox, head of the school at Missoula International School, will be joined by representatives from MCPS and the UM to talk more about the impact of this program in the Missoula Valley and its transformative potential for our schools and economy. How can public and private partnerships forge stronger schools and communities?
Well, I have a little background on
let's hear it.
baccalaureate. One of my former teachers from Big Sky High School, where I went to, go Eagles, he is one of the spearheaders behind the baccalaureate program at Hellgate High School. Hellgate High School,
Nice.
A baccalaureate program is basically immersing yourself in a education of international education. Basically, that's what it means is international education for further education, kind of like AP classes for students interested in international type stuff. So they learn other languages, other type of methods of learning from international. So it's kind of like you learn by looking outside.
Cool. That's neat.
Very cool.
That'll be really neat. Yeah, so that's going on. Also is the Native Plant Garden Work and Learn Day. This is at 4 p.m. at Fort Missoula tomorrow. You can weed, build, plant at Fort Missoula's Plant Garden, and you also learn some very informational topics and helpful things. So the topic this week is native bees and building your own mason beehive. So sweet. That'll be pretty fun. And also tomorrow is a discussion at the university at 7 p.m. This will be held in the Del Brown Room in Turner Hall, and it's called, this guy, Gregory Pfeiffer, is an author and former Moscow correspondent for NPR, and he just wrote a book called Russians, The People Behind the Power, and so he'll discuss his new book as well as discuss the current political climate there. So that'll be tomorrow in the Dell Brown Room at the university at 7 p.m. Yeah.
Very interesting.
And then also tomorrow is Temple of Ruin Burlesque Girls with the Cigarette Girls. The show will be 8 p.m. at the Top Hat Lounge, and they're having these two pretty popular burlesque dancers that travel all over the United States and Canada. And so it'll be the Cigarette Girls, which is our local burlesque group. And yeah, that'll be at the Top Hat tomorrow. $10, 8 p.m. Should be pretty fun. Yeah. But yeah, those are the events for today and tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're gonna run a PSA, but before we run that, we're gonna be bringing in we'll be showing our guests after we show the PSA.
Yes.
So we'll be showing that PSA very shortly.
Yes, we've got Chuck Bartlebaugh on from Be Bear Aware, so he'll be our first guest, and then we have Aaron Fowler from the Poverello Center, and then we will have our guest from Sustainable Business Council.
A lot of guests today, so we better... Yeah.
And they are talking about the local discussion panel? Cool.
Yes, they are.
Nice.
Yep, so we'll be right back after this PSA.
Why is clean air important to you?
I like to be outside. It's nice to be able to breathe.
My parents are getting very old and they're having a hard time breathing as is.
So I can see the stars at night.
Look at what we have.
Everything needs clean air.
Can you tell me why clean air is important to you?
I need it.
You just flat out feel better when you're breathing clean, fresh air.
So when I breathe in, I don't know, I feel like kind of this sense of like, it's in you.
I like to have my lungs filled with clean air rather than a bunch of car exhaust.
If you're not breathing, you're not here.
And would you be willing to pay a penny per gallon of gasoline to save 2,500 lives per year?
I sure would.
All right. Would you give a penny?
I'll give a penny.
Yes, I would. Here you go.
Yes. Would you give a penny to save 2,500 lives per year?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Absolutely, I would pay a penny more.
Yes.
All right.
I would.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Most certainly.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Would you be willing to pay a penny more?
You bet.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would, hands down.
And we are back. We have a very special guest today.
Yes.
And it's Chuck Bartleby.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Hi.
It's great to have you here.
Thanks for being on our show. So what do you?
I thought the special guest was the bear.
You're both special guests.
Yes.
You're special to Wake Up Missoula.
Yeah.
So please talk about. You have a whole bunch of stuff here today. Let's try to talk about each one of these.
First of all, the most important thing is we now have grizzly bears in and around Missoula that have been seen as well as confirmed by satellite tracking. One grizzly bear was removed from Clinton a couple years ago. If you're hiking the Rattlesnake or Snow Bull or even Patty Canyon possibly, you could run into a grizzly bear now.
Wow.
I'm hoping for one to visit downtown Missoula this summer, but highly unlikely.
Yeah.
And we're only talking about a couple, maybe 3 or 4.
So one of the misconceptions is that people think that bears attack or they target humans.
Yeah, every year it happens over and over again. Millions of people run into a grizzly bear and spend part of the afternoon enjoying and watching them from a safe distance, and nothing happens. That's the reality of bears all over North America, including here in Montana. But you could have a sudden encounter. Right. So it's really important to know bear signs, such as bear scat on a trail, otherwise called poop, or digging and claw marks on trees or stumps torn apart. That tells you there's a bear in the area. And the fresher it is, the more likely there's one in the immediate area, and you should be prepared. And everyone needs to carry bear spray. Bear spray is essential to people that recreate, whether they jog, hike, bike, in the recreational paths all around Missoula. They should have their bear spray. It's good for cougars, good for wolves, coyotes, and of course black bears as well. The grizzly bear is a little more aggressive and more likely to charge. And one thing I'd like to point out is I don't believe in bluff charges. All charges are for a purpose by bears of communicating something to you. And it may be a non-contact charge or a contact charge, but if it's charging, it's talking to you saying, I don't want you close, I don't want you near me, you have scared me. And just like us, the bear is telling you, I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
And what is a bluff charge?
Well, the bluff charge, which I don't think exists anymore, used to be a bear that charges, stop, and runs away from you. That bear is telling you, it's communicating. It's not bluffing about anything. It's saying, I don't like this. I don't want you this close. I want you to move away. So a lot of people, because of the old term bluff charge, think, well, I can just stand there and continue to irritate the bear. That would be a very bad and irresponsible thing to do.
So what do you do when you see a bear charging you?
Well, if a bear's charging you, I wouldn't be out there without bear spray. I would get my bear spray out, firmly hold the can and disperse it directly at the bear, and continue spraying until the bear breaks its charge. And I direct it slightly downward. You do not aim bear spray. You direct an expanding cloud in front of the bear, and as the bear enters the clouds, it'll lose its ability to use its eyesight, sense of smell, ability to breathe deep and muscle up for a contact if it had chose to do that.
And how long does it affect the bear?
It affects the bear pretty quickly. I don't like to use the word instantaneously because it could be blown out of the path of the bear. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong, but within split seconds of so forth.
And how long do the effects of the spray last?
About 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then the bear is fine. It has its eyesight back, a sense of smell back, and
what are some things that people should be aware of? Like, you're not supposed to do this against humans.
Correct. Bear spray is illegal to use against humans. It's meant only for bears. It's not the same as pepper spray or law enforcement spray or military spray. That's a whole different class with different dispersal system and different ingredients.
So tell us, why is bear spray important for both humans and bears?
It protects both.
Okay.
It tells that bear don't charge again, and it keeps you safe. If the bear is real close, though, it still might make contact. But in which case, as soon as it fully feels the effects, it is shown to reduce the length and severity of that confrontation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course, may I see that for a second?
Sure.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of directions on the can itself, and I want to at least get a close-up of it. So if you want to take a look. Just nice close-up. I'm working backwards, so.
There it is, yeah. How would you carry one of those if you were jogging or mountain biking?
They have chest holsters, they have hip holsters, and any of those have worked fine. I know bicyclists and joggers carrying it that way.
Right. And where can you find pepper spray?
It's not pepper spray.
I mean the bear pepper spray.
Correct. And don't even call it bear pepper spray, just bear spray. It's available at REI, I know locally. Bob Ward's carries it. Probably most sporting goods stores would have bear spray. Yeah. And duration and distance is important. When buying bear spray, know how long a can will spray for. I recommend at least 7 seconds, and it should go at least 25 to 30 feet. I wouldn't buy anything that's less than that. And there are some that are less than that. I don't think they should be out there because you may need reserve for the hike out, and if the wind's blowing, you may have to spray the bear a second or even a third time.
Yep.
Well, we have a couple pictures here as well.
You should tell our viewers, what are the physical characteristics between a black bear and a grizzly bear?
Okay, well that is, why don't you go on the one with the two bears there, if you can pull that up on the screen.
Wrists. I can. There you
go. The grizzly bear has the hump, of course, not always big. Teenage bear we have here today has a small hump, a dish face, short rounded ears, and of course extremely long claws compared to the black bear. The black bear has short rounded claws and it can climb the tree better than the grizzly bear can. But grizzly bears do climb trees too, and they're capable of climbing trees. That's the main characteristic. Color and size don't count. Never go by the color and never go by the size. Matter of fact, black bears even come in blue and white.
Right.
Really?
Grizzly bears can come in brown, black, silver, white as well. So color is not a way to determine what kind of bear it is. And of course, the grizzly bear is a folklore name. It's actually a brown bear, just like in Alaska, a Kodiak brown bear, a Russian brown bear, all the same as the grizzly bear we have around Missoula now.
Okay.
And these were not relocated here. These naturally followed the corridor down from up around Glacier Park and the Bob Marshall down towards Missoula. These are natural free-roaming bears.
Okay.
And you were saying before the show, we were talking a little bit. You were saying how they're on the endangered species list now, but they're slowly.
Yeah, Yellowstone's about to delist and should delist. When I came out here, I'd see one bear every 2 years. Now, every trip to Yellowstone, I see a grizzly bear or the surrounding area. They become very common.
And this is a map?
This is the map of the Missoula area from the satellite. And there's been bears closer to town than that, but the Snow Bull, Grant Creek area, the Rattlesnake have all had grizzly bears that are collared, turn up on the satellite. And there's numbers of a few other bears that don't have collars that we know people have seen right along the Rattlesnake Trail and so forth.
Oh, we also have your website, so if you want to plug your website a little bit too.
Yep. We have a website and we have all these kind of materials. We're working with the Girl Scouts on an educational outreach program. And any of these materials are available to anyone free of charge. And we give them out in bulk. If you have a church group or a school group or another youth group and you need numerous 50 or 100 of them, we'll gladly provide that to you. Help us get the word out about being safe in bear country. It's just a matter of not approaching, following, or attempting to interact with bears, especially grizzly bears. And to avoid an encounter is real easy.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of guests for the show, so is there any final words before you leave?
This is a great success story and help celebrate it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
So we'll be back in 30 seconds with our next guest.
Aaron Fowler is on next.
Hello and welcome to MCAT. MCAT stands for Missoula Community Access Television. We are a nonprofit group that helps the community get into broadcasting and communication. How? I'm not sure. If it's too formal, I mean, people are just gonna be like, oh, that's boring. And then if it's too like, oh yeah, we don't give a crap, la-di-da. Are you filming this? Oops. How? We train anybody who comes through our doors how to shoot, edit, and produce videos. Whether you like to be in front of the camera or behind, we provide the equipment you need to get started, so come on down.
And we are back. We have a guest from the Poverello Center, Josh.
Aaron Fowler's here from the Poverello Center. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for being on the show. So tonight, the first thing that we'll talk about is, not tonight, but you're celebrating the closeout of your capital campaign tomorrow night.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this.
So we are just overwhelmed and thrilled to be able to host this celebration. So we'll be closing out our Help Build Hope campaign, which will directly fund the construction of our new facility, which is underway and is about 50% complete. Mm-hmm. And what we're celebrating is that we have raised $1.6 million in private sector funds, which will go towards the full construction costs of about $5 million. And
great.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And so as we've raised these funds, we have ensured that we have enough money to complete the project. And we're just especially thrilled because we raised so much money in a short period of time from individuals in Missoula, which really tells us that the Poverello Center really has a role in the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, how far is it complete? How far is the project? How far are you into it right now?
Yeah, so we started last November and we're about 50% complete. If you drive by, you'll see the siding's going up and the windows are in, but there's still a lot of interior work to do. So we'll be finishing up towards the end of this year, November, early December, and then we'll be fully operational by the end of the year and moved out of our old facility, which we have sold, and into the new one and fully operational.
So, and you guys are moving closer to the YWCA. What kind of partnerships are you working with the YWCA?
Yeah, well, we've been, close partners with the Y for many, many years, and we're working really closely with them on how we can make sure and pair our services so they're beneficial really for both of us. And we're really excited to be able to host one of their programs and their staff members potentially in our new building with the extra space that we have. And then we're talking about how to open our dining room for family hours and really just expand our family services.
Good. Where is the new location?
So the new location is on the address is 1110 West Broadway. A lot of people know it as the old Trails End Bar and Casino. So it's definitely an upgrade and a much prettier building than what was there before. But it is right there on West Broadway.
Great. That's a good location. I feel.
Yeah. It's right on transit lines and near near healthcare, near the bus system, and so I think it'll work well.
YWCA too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How many more people will this new building serve?
Yeah, so we focused a lot on creating a building that was right-sized, and so we're not really striving to make a dramatically larger building and serve dramatically larger population because we're all working to decrease and end homelessness. That being said, we really wanted to sleep everyone in a bed, and so right now we sleep about 70 individuals in beds and about 30 to 40 people on the floor each night. And so the new building will have a little over 100 bed spaces, so everybody staying with us will be sleeping in a bed.
I brought up a picture. This is kind of like the concept, right?
Absolutely. Yep, that's our conceptual design, and it's actually going to look exactly like that, but we've changed the colors a little bit.
Right.
But yes, that's the design of the new facility.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
How many levels are there?
So there'll be 3 levels. We'll have communal sleeping and supportive services in the lower daylight basement. All of our day services are free healthcare for the homeless clinic that is operated by Partnership Health Center, our commercial soup kitchen, which serves about 140,000 meals a year, our administrative offices, and then the upstairs will have semi-private rooms to serve at-risk populations, veterans, returning home, folks who need medical respite due to chronic illness, our female clients, and so a little bit different level of service.
So we were talking a little bit before the show, sustainable futures. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so one thing we're really excited about is working in energy efficient design and sustainable features for our new facility, which sometimes sound like a luxury, but really are not when we are paying currently about $30,000 a year for our annual power bill. So we're really excited that we're going to have all Energy Star energy efficient appliances. We're really making sure our heating and cooling systems are efficient so that we can decrease all of those utility bills so that every dollar really goes to maximize client care. And we've also recently submitted a grant for a solar panel array, which would really help with our energy costs as well. So we're crossing our fingers on that and really doing whatever we can to maximize our funding.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah. Is there anything else, Erin?
Yeah, well, I just really would want to...
let's talk about the event.
Yes, the event. Exactly. Yeah. I want to invite everyone to our event, and so we will be celebrating the close of our Help Build Hope campaign tomorrow night at 5:30 at the Garlington building, just right here downtown, and it's open to the public. We'll have some appetizers and some beverages, and we'll get to hear from our campaign co-chairs, Rick Wishcamper, who's a board member, and Mayor Engen. Will share a little bit with us just about what this project means to the community, and then mostly we just want to thank people for really coming out in full force and supporting the campaign and supporting the project.
I guess I have one more question. How does the new building fit into the city's goal to end homelessness within 10 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. And really at the core of every 10-year plan is a very solid, well-functioning, and efficient safety net for people that fall into homelessness. Regardless of the effort we put into preventing homelessness and to getting people rehoused as soon as possible, people will always experience homelessness at some level. And so our goal is to make that the shortest, period possible. And to do that, we need to have an emergency system that functions. And so the pod will really kind of be at the core of providing that safety net for people that fall into homelessness.
Okay. So one more time before we go, when is this event and where is it?
So the event is Thursday, tomorrow night. It is at 5:30, from 5:30 to 7 at Garlington, the Garlington building here in town. And it's an open house, so folks can just drop in whenever they can make it, and we'd love to have you.
Great.
Awesome.
Right. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We have a guest from the Sustainable Business Council.
Yes, we have
right after
Jenny Mish coming on from Sustainable Business Council.
So we'll be right back. Right after this. Yes, this.
Come on, guys.
Great, thank you.
Rolling? Good. When hiking in bear country like this, it's important to remember your essentials, like bear spray and knowing how to use it. Liam, where's my bear spray?
I put it in the bottom of your pack.
I didn't mean... How am I supposed to get it quickly?
When adventuring in bear country, remember, bring bear spray and know how to use it. Hike in groups, make noise, and don't run. Be bear aware.
Are you interested in pursuing a job in television and need experience, or are you interested in picking up a new skill? Missoula Community Access Television is a place for you. MCAT can get you trained and ready so you can hit the ground running in television. Call us at 542-6228 or email us at mcat.org.
And we're back with the Sustainable Business Council.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so glad to be here.
Thanks for being on the
hair twirl.
Yeah.
So tell us about the panel that's going on tonight.
Yeah, so tonight, the Sustainable Business Council has been in the business of helping to change norms in Missoula and help the community think about what is local, what is sustainable, and how do we want to purchase, how do we want our economic life to be in Missoula. And so for a long time, we've done buy local programs. We started in 2008. Before we started in 2008, we did a study and found out that only 3% of Missoulians were using local ownership as one of their top 3 criteria in deciding where to shop. And by 2012, it had become 95%. So that was like huge, right?
Yeah.
And the Sustainable Business Council isn't the only organization that has been promoting buy local, but we really kind of led the charge, and we've been consistent, and we did, annual events around the holidays, and we'll do that again this year. But then in the summer, we would do Local Fest. And then, we started noticing that there's like a Local Fest every weekend now in Paris Park.
Yeah.
So this summer, we're upping the ante. We're doing a whole new thing. We're asking Missoulians to spend 10% of their food budget on local foods. So from June to September, we're promoting this whole campaign of 10% buy local foods. And we're launching it tonight with a panel called What is Local? Because what is local, right?
Yeah, what is it?
What is local?
What is local?
What is local?
Yeah.
What is local?
Tell us.
There's obviously a lot of different definitions, and it means different things to different people. And we don't think that it's our job to tell people how they should define local. We want people asking questions and learning more and finding out what are the different ways to think about what local is. So tonight's panel will look at a variety of different ways of thinking about what local is. So that's where we're starting.
Great. Well, people are already invested in the local, so why is it important that they keep on investing more into it?
That's a great question. So people, there is like this local bandwagon, but it doesn't always translate into behavior. So when you look at actually like how much of our food, let's just say food, is locally produced. If you look at the whole Missoula consumption, it's about 3% of the food that is consumed in Missoula is local. So you can see that there's a huge amount of room to grow the local economy around food, right? And when you're starting out as a food or farm business, you really notice that the demand is limited like that. So we want people to really be thinking about, hey, when I shop, do I want a farmer to have a job? Do I want, what do I want? Do I want, what kind of agricultural practices do I want flowing into my rivers, our rivers, have those questions in mind while shopping.
And no one thinks about that. So that's great that this panel is maybe going to probe some thoughts to think more local.
it's so easy to like think, I love local.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love the market.
I'm all about
and then,
it, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go to the chain store and buy some food just because out of habit,
Right.
you know, without thinking about
Yeah.
it. So.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So what should people expect from tonight's panel?
Oh, we're going to have great people tonight. So we have Molly Galusha from the Buttercup Cafe, and she's definitely a leader in local purchasing, you know, and so she's very articulate and passionate. And she's going to speak kind of from an environmental perspective about carbon footprint and that kind of thing. And then we also have Rebecca Wade, who is the new sustainability coordinator for the UM Dining.
Nice.
And they have really taken leadership. UM Dining has 23% of their food locally sourced, which is like phenomenal. They're a nationally recognized leader around that for university, you know, food service. And then we have Greg Price from the River Road Neighborhood Farm.
Mm-hmm.
So he's with Garden City Harvest. So we have a farmer on the panel.
That's awesome.
And he's going to talk more about like relationships and you know, kind of, because there's actually hedonistic reasons to want to buy local.
Oh, never mind.
Like culinary aspects. Yeah.
And that relationship, like getting to visit the farm and have the fresh taste. And
like for me, I've always gone to Benson's Farm. Benson's Farm is always a great local place as well.
That's local.
Yeah, and it feels like, you know, he was in agriculture, like on the outskirts of Missoula. Like that farm is actually a farm in farm area, and then the city just kind of grew around.
Wrapped around, and they're still going.
Right.
Yeah, I love shopping there myself. Yeah.
Wow.
How do people get involved with the campaign?
So we're going to be all over the place this summer. We're going to be at the Carnivores Classic this weekend, and then we're going to be at Sunday Streets. We'll have sidewalk chalk painting and, you know, fun activities. And then we're going to be tabling at the Clark Fork Market and some of the supermarkets around town. And, you know, we're going to be around town. So, but our website is a great place to go, sustainablebusinesscouncil.org.
Yep.
And our pledge campaign actually launches June 1st, so our pledge website isn't quite up yet, but you can see there that we've got our event for tonight on our website, and there will be more information on our website. And then there's going to be prizes. So we've got, you know, great members that are giving gift certificates like to Cafe Dolce and different things like that. So you can win prizes by participating in the pledge campaign. And then at the end of the summer, so we'll also have two food movies at the Roxy in June and August. So those are going to be really fun. And we're going to have an event at a commercial kitchen with an herb talk in July. And then in September, we're going to have a big finale small plate dinner. So that's going to be really fun. All those events are going to be really fun. So you can find out about them on our website. You can sign up for our email newsletter. You can visit our Facebook page, which is Sustainable Business Council, and that will have events posted there. Come tonight. We always have snacks and food and drinks. It's at 5:30 at the Loft of Missoula, 119 West Main. And
Great.
Yeah.
Come.
Well, let's
talk to us about what you think local means.
Yeah.
We want to know. Ask the questions everywhere you go.
And this is free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a donation basket, but it's
Definitely.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be
Is there
here.
anything
Thanks for
else that you wanna-
helping me get the word out and buy local. Enjoy your summer and eat healthy, happy food.
Yes. I
So
agree.
we have Shira Scott talking about the elections, which are next Tuesday, the primary elections, mind you. That is going to be next Tuesday. So she's here to talk about that. Coming up right after this.
Here's your bear spray, babe.
I don't need it. I can outrun them. Look, I ran track in high school.
No, you can't. You're not supposed to run from bears. And you did the shot put.
Okay, I'll spray down.
What? No, don't spray it!
My face is burning! My face is burning now!
When hunting in bear country, understand it puts you at risk. Be smart. Be safe. Be bear aware.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
And we're back. We're here with Shira Scott. Let's just go back to the bear. Let's just go back to the bear.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here with Shira Scott. Welcome back to Wake Up Missoula.
Thank you.
She's here for the last time because election is next Tuesday.
Yes. It is. It's coming up quickly. So we need your ballots in by next Tuesday. If you are confused at all about where you go next Tuesday, if you've decided to vote at the polls, you can go onto our website, MissoulaVotes.com, or to the Secretary of State's My Voter page, and you can see what precinct you're supposed to vote in, and we can give you your polling location.
Perfect.
So it should be easy for you to do that. If you decide, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be around Tuesday, I won't have time Tuesday, you can always stop in out of the fairgrounds. They're open until 7 tonight, and then again from 8 to 1 on Saturday, and 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. We just have some extended hours, and you can go out there and you can get your absentee ballot and vote that. So we try to make it easy for people.
Yeah. Okay, so there are primary elections, and that's Tuesday, and then we have regular elections, and that's in November. Exactly. And you can only vote in one of those, or can you vote both of those?
You can vote both.
Okay.
Yep, you can vote both. Okay. So the primary election will determine which candidates of each party, they're declared either Republican, there's a few nonpartisan, or Democrat. And so those decide which candidates move on to the general election ballot.
And then you can
you'll decide on the general election ballot.
Okay, great.
But you can only vote Republican or Democrat
for the primary election.
So that's this Tuesday.
Exactly. So
but also they have a whole bunch of like levies and other sorts of elections that definitely impact right away, not necessarily. We have to wait until November to get those policies passed.
Sure.
Right.
So it's it's important. It's all important.
It is all important. Yeah. So the big ones on this one, at least you were mentioning issues, I guess, that are on the ballot are the government reviews, and if those pass during the primary, then we actually elect individuals to conduct those government reviews during the general election. So those are important to get to decide whether or not you actually want that or not. Because you won't have a chance to vote
whole variety of
yes
different
or no.
elections, like the special district levy that's coming. That's also a big thing that the city wants to do. That the police and the fire department teamed up for the special district. That's going to be this Tuesday as well. And not to mention, of course, the sheriff's primary election, which they're trying to determine who's going to be on the Democratic ticket.
Yeah, and I don't know much about the city's election. They're running that independently of us.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I know there's a protest period, just from what I've received in the mail.
Oh, okay.
Either time to either protest or support it. But other than that, we aren't administering that one, so I don't know much about it.
How soon will the results come back?
We'll have preliminary results that evening. So we'll start releasing results starting a little bit after 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Out at the fairgrounds. Vicki and Rebecca will be releasing those. Finalized results take a little while. We have to do an official canvass, and so it takes a week or so to get all of that paperwork done. But you have a pretty good idea that same evening or the next morning, depending on how many ballots we get back.
Cool. Would you send me the email about the results of the primary elections?
Sure.
Just so I can just talk about it. Even though I could probably look them online, but if you could send it to me, dumb it down for me, that would be great.
Absolutely. I can do that, and anybody can go online right after the election. We'll have the unofficial results posted periodically. You can also check our Facebook page. Again, MissoulaVotes.com has all of that information up there, and Rebecca's great at keeping that updated. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you're on the final leg of the whole event for you guys.
Exactly.
So you're getting to the finish line. So
we are. We're ending the marathon. We're ending the marathon, and then we have a couple months, and we're
I'm
back
sure it's
at
been
it
a little
again.
stressful for you guys this past month and a half.
It has been.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing great.
Good.
The office and the fairground staff are wonderful, and hopefully we get a good voter turnout.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
And thank you guys very much for having me this whole time.
Thank you, Shara.
I appreciate it.
Nice.
Well, before we go, I want to talk about for more information and to watch the show that you just saw today, you can go into our Facebook page. It's Facebook, Wake Up Missoula. That's simple.
Yeah. Yes.
More information, go to MCAT.org. All sorts of great stuff. We'll be on YouTube, Wake Up Missoula. Find us. And yeah, like other than that, like thanks for joining us. We had a bunch of great guests.
Yeah. Yes.
And we're sorry that you're leaving.
Yeah.
You'll just have to
I'll
come
be back
back
anytime.
Yeah.
I'll come back for the general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You'll just have to come back for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll go visit the elections office.
Perfect. Yes. Do an on-site visit. I would love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Tyra.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So for Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramf.
I'm Noelle McAvoy.
And I'm Josh Meny.
And
I'm Shira Scott.
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.